Marvel Animation panel at San Diego Comic-Con had a lot of information and even more questions. I'm looking at you, Spider-Man freshman year. And so I decided I would compile everything we saw at this panel into one video, talk about it, give a little recap, give my thoughts on what was revealed at the Marvel Studios animation panel. Keep in mind, we still have not seen the main Marvel Studios panel. That will come tomorrow or later today at the time of uploading this. Depends on how quick I get this edited. So we still have a lot more, but they already showed us a lot today. So without further ado, let's hop into this. All right, I got my notes up on my computer here. So first thing they talked about was I Am Groot, the series of shorts that are going to be coming to Disney Plus August 10th, just a week before She-Hulk, which is cool. So they showed a few things from it. We saw a new trailer, which I have reacted to. You guys can watch that reaction. It's a minute long, just gives us a little look at the series and the photorealistic CGI animation they did for it. And then we got a new poster. Then information on the show on August 10th. 5 shorts will be releasing. And they already ordered another season. I don't know what you would consider it with shorts, but they did say at some point they will release 5 more of those. Not sure when, but at some point we'll see 5 more I Am Groot shorts. And all of them do release at the same time. So when they drop that morning, I'll just wake up early in the morning, grab myself a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and watch them all, and then give a review. So stay tuned for that. And then my just little personal opinion on I Am Groot here. There's clearly an audience that it was made for. And as someone who's not part of that audience, I will say, it looks cute. It looks like a fun, cute show that, you know, little kids will probably love. There's nothing more to say than that, other than the fact my one worry is that I'm going to get really annoyed from hearing I Am Groot by the time we're done with this, but only time will tell. Now, moving on to the big boy stuff. What If Season 2 they talked about. There were 4 big shows they talked about. It was What If Season 2, Marvel Zombies, Spider-Man Freshman Year, and XMen 97. And, I mean, I Am Groot, but that was just, they got that out of the way early, then focused on their big shows. So, here's what we have on What If Season 2. First off, Season 3 announced. Yes, perfect. Even though I was not the biggest fan of What If Season 1, some of the stories were awesome, some of them were dreadful. This is the perfect show to keep going. They never have to end this show. I mean, hell, just keep giving us seasons of What If for as long as the MCU runs, because that's how long, like, they'll have that many stories. So, Season 3 announced, awesome. Give me a Season 4 at some point, too. I know I'll watch all of it, and they're fun stories I can see. There's literally no reason to not keep making What If, so cool. So, What If Season 3 was announced. They said some of the episodes we can see. There's going to be one focused on Hela, a Odin versus the Mandarin type story, which I believe factors into something they had said of a battle between Asgard and Ten Rings people, so it's probably Asgard versus Ten Rings. Captain Carter meeting the Winter Soldier, which was what we saw in the post-credit scene of the first season when she sees the Hydra Stomper, and they screened an episode of Peggy versus the Hydra Stomper. So I'm assuming Cap was brainwashed into becoming the Winter Soldier in that continuity, and that's how that went down. So we're going to see a fight between the two of them, and, you know, by the end he'll be good. It's just going to be Winter Soldier, right? And then the last one is, it says Tony Stark on Sakaar with Valkyrie and Hulk. I don't know if that was a typo or if Hulk's there too, but that should be the Gamora episode that they cut from Season 1 for time and moved to Season 2. About Captain Carter, they did say when they were talking about that Captain Carter episode, not the same Captain Carter as Multiverse of Madness. I think they made a joke that this one would whoop Wanda's ass. And then the last thing we have is glimpses of 1602 Marvel, because I forgot to write this down. Who wrote? Oh yeah, Neil Gaiman, that's who wrote it. It was in an 8-issue series by Neil Gaiman. It was superheroes in 1602, so that's cool. So they'll adapt that, I'm assuming, into What If. And then last thing on What If Season 2 is that it is going to release early next year. Early 2023 we'll see this. I thought they were going to release in like this fall, but no, pushing it to next year. Moving on to Marvel Zombies, I figured it would make sense to put this next, considering it's a spin-off of What If. Now this one's super exciting. First off, I don't believe they gave a release date, but 2024 is probably when we can expect it. I don't know why I'm writing this down as I say it, considering I'm not going to publish this anywhere, but 2024 with 3 question marks is what I wrote, is when we can probably expect this show. So this is the same universe as the What If Zombies episode, which I was worried about because that episode has some issues. And I was like, I don't know if I want to continue that universe or do their own Zombies universe. But then I saw this. So, Marvel Zombies is not your grandkid's comic book. This is mature. I mean, there's some messed up stuff in the Zombies comic. And I and a lot of people didn't expect Disney to be able to handle zombies in the way they should probably handle zombies, given, how it was in the What If episode. This show's TVMA. Now, TVMA, for people who are not familiar with TV ratings, is the equivalent of rated R. Your Netflix shows are TVMA. That's what the Marvel Zombies show is going to be. It's going to be essentially an R-rated show, which means we're going to see gore. We're probably going to see gore, G-O-R-E, not Gore the God Butcher. He might be in it, I don't know. But G-O-R-E, that kind of gore. Blood, a lot of brutality, a lot of death, probably a lot of people eating other people. And the moment I saw that rating, I got excited for Marvel Zombies, because that's what I want from Marvel Zombies. And then there were some characters they showed. They showed some images of characters. So there's a hero lineup they showed. I don't know if this is the main group or just some of the characters, but it's Yelena Belova, Kate Bishop, Jimmy Woo, surprisingly awesome, Shang-Chi, Miss Marvel, the Death Dealer, Red Guardian, and Katie, who is Shang-Chi's friend, played by Awkwafina. And then the little roster of zombies they showed is Scarlet Witch, Hawkeye, Captain America, his top half only, because you remember Bucky removed his bottom half, cut him in half with the shield. Abomination, who is just looking frightening. Ghost, Okoye, Captain Marvel, and somehow Icarus. Now, he can't really become a zombie, so I'm interested to see how they're going to handle that. And there was also a shot of a Skrull biker gang. Sign me the hell up for that. And once again, no release date, but I am pumped for this show. I cannot wait for Marvel Zombies. 2 more things to talk about. Let's start with X-Men 97 here. X-Men 97 is coming fall of 2023. Now, this is the continuation or reboot or whatever of the 90s X-Men series, which I have not seen. So as I present some of this information, if I sound like an idiot, it's because I have not seen that X-Men show. It's on my list. I have a bunch of Marvel cartoons I want to get to. Spectacular Spider-Man just hit Netflix, so I can finally watch that. I want to rewatch Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, because that was my jam when I was little. 90s Spider-Man, I watched some of when I was little. I want to do that. X-Men, both X-Men shows. There's a lot of Marvel cartoons I want to watch, so I have to dive in at some point. Might as well start with X-Men since it's hot right now. So they gave us a first look at the team, which my understanding is they all look pretty much the same except Storm, and the group is Rogue, Gambit, Wolverine, Jubilee, Cyclops, Storm, Jean Grey, and Beast. And the X-Men, from what they said at the presentation, Xavier's not on Earth because of something that happened at the end of the 90s show, so they need a new leader. They pulled up a picture of Magneto just looking like a badass, and they're like, this is your leader of the X-Men. So Magneto is now leading the X-Men. The villains, they have Sebastian Shaw, not the Kevin Bacon version, Emma Frost, Calypso, Val Cooper, and Mr. Sinister, it looks like, is going to be their leader. And then some other characters include, some of these, I believe, or my understanding is some of these were not in the original show. Cable, Sunspot, Bishop, Forge, Morph, and Nightcrawler are also some characters that are going to be there. They showed some images of the Sentinels, which look just so comic accurate. I laughed when I saw them. I loved it. It's perfect. That's what you can do with animation. Comics accurate stuff. They said, Season 2 confirmed. We're getting a second season of X-Men 97. And something I saw a couple glimpses of, but I haven't seen any articles on it. They might be out by the time I upload this, you never know, but this might be the 838 universe. I don't think it's the 838 universe, but it could be. If it is, I believe then on a technicality it kind of folds into the MCU continuity because they're It's its own little pocket of continuity stuff. We'll talk about this more in freshman year. My understanding has always been, and until proven otherwise will always be, this show is a completely separate thing. No relation to any of the timelines. This is strictly following the 90s X-Men show. I could be wrong. We'll see as it gets closer to the release date what they say. But lastly, the big boy here, the one that's confusing a lot of people, including me, Spider-Man freshman year. Now here's why this is confusing people. This was originally an MCU prequel. It was set before Captain America Civil War. It was going to be Peter Parker's origin story leading into that movie. Doesn't really look like they're doing that anymore because of some of the images and stuff they put out. But Disney's press release still says it's an MCU show. So the question is, what gives? It could possibly be a what-if scenario. Break in the timeline at some point. I'm not sure. I remember reading that the Watcher opened the presentation by saying that we're all Watchers and we can all peer into these realities. I want to say it's a what-if. But it looks exciting. MCU or not, I'm going to watch this show when it comes out, if not just for the beautiful animation style. It looks awesome. And there are so many characters. So many characters. So the list of villains I was able to compile, we got Unicorn, Chameleon, Scorpion, Speed Demon, Tarantula, Rhino, Tombstone, and Doc Ock. Norman Osborn is Peter Parker's mentor, and there's a shot that's basically the exact thing from Civil War, but with Norman instead of Tony, which is what leads me to believe it's a what-if thing. Because we know the Osborns aren't in the main 616 timeline. Doctor Strange will appear in the show. Peter's friends include Harry Osborn, Amadeus Cho, and Nico Minoru from The Runaways, and Ned and MJ are not in this. And Charlie Cox will be voicing Daredevil. I do like me some Daredevil. Peter's going to have multiple suits, and they already confirmed a second season, and that second season's going to be titled Spider-Man Sophomore Year. So if it wasn't clear enough that the show was not 616... Look, I'm calling it that. I'm sorry, Iman Vellani. I know you want 199999. 616 doesn't take as long to say, so I'm going to say 616. If it was not evident enough that it's not 616, Homecoming is his sophomore year, so why make a show on it? So it's something else. Something completely different. It's going to release in 2024. And like I said, the animation looks beautiful. I'm excited to see what it'll be like. And the fact that they aren't tethered directly to the MCU, that seems to be their goal with animation, is do little timeline branches so they can just tell whatever stories they want using the backdrop of the MCU instead of having to adhere to MCU canon. I'm all here for it. It's also a great way to divide animation from live action. That way you don't have to keep watching all these animated shows for the next movie. You can just watch the animated stuff, watch the live action stuff, separate them, but that animated stuff is still set adjacent to the MCU. And here's my theory on it. I said a what-if scenario, so we have to remember the multiverse. Everyone's always talking about multiverse this, multiverse that, but forgets the multiverse exists the moment there's a show that doesn't look like it fits in the MCU. This could very well be the definition of a timeline branch, alternate universe, something like that. The MCU is not one timeline. This has been shown. It's not just that. The MCU, someone on Twitter said it really well, and I'm upset I can't find the tweet, but he said the MCU is a brand name. It's not one timeline. And within that pocket of the MCU, you have all these different universes and timelines that Kevin Feige is telling stories in. Spider-Man freshman year falls within one of the timelines in the MCU. That is my guess. So essentially, to sum it up, it's both canon and not canon at the same time, but I don't care what canonicity is. This looks like a fun-ass Spider-Man show, and I cannot wait for it. There you guys go. That's everything we learned from the Marvel Studios animation panel at San Diego Comic-Con. Tomorrow, the main one comes out in the evening. I'm not sure if I'll have a chance to cover it right then and there, or if I'll have to push it to Sunday, because I am going on a little trip. I'll see if I can make time to record it. It would be awesome if I could, because I really want to talk about it right when it drops. But I'm at least glad I could talk about the animation stuff now. I will be staying up to date on what they reveal at Comic-Con tomorrow. There you guys go. Hope you guys found this video entertaining, enjoyable, life-changing, whatever the options are that YouTube has. One of those is awesome. So let me know all your thoughts on what we saw at the Marvel Studios animation panel today down in the comments below. Also leave a like on the video, subscribe, click on the bell icon to receive all notifications from the MCU HQ. That's going to be it. Have a great day, guys.